Hi everyone, thank you so much for watching. My name is Yadira. If you are new, welcome. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. Today I did want to go over a quick haul as well as an unboxing, which is a haul as well. And then I'm also going to do like a little collection video. So I'm going to put timestamps down below in case you are interested in one part of the video more than the other. So let's get going with the unboxing first. I forgot my scissors, but the unboxing is actually going to be hair care, and then the shopping bag is what I picked up from the fall 2024 Sephora savings event. I'm not even sure what they're calling it. Here is the box, just kind of rip the bottom there. And this is actually from the brand DIVI. DIVI is a hair care that is available at Ulta. It's not available at Sephora. The founder actually has a podcast, which I'm not too sure what the name of it is because I don't listen to it, but I do follow her on Instagram, and this is kind of how I found out about the brand before it even went into Ulta. But they were running a promotion on their latest bundle that included their whipped repair mask, which apparently is like a top seller for the brand. Like a lot of people do like this product. In the little bundle, it had the whipped mask, and it included a full-size shampoo. You got to pick between the Volumizing or the Hydrating set, and I recently have been having more of an oily scalp. My wash cycle used to be one day yes, one day no, like an A-B sort of plan. Instead of washing your hair every single day, I have never really been able to train my hair an entire week without washing. A lot of girls can, and honestly I love the way the hair looks after like, you know, 3-4 days. It just has a lot of volume and whatnot, but my hair, it just doesn't work with my hair. And I do know you can train your hair to act that way, but the most I've ever gone is like 2 days without washing, so like washing every 3 days. But anyways, in recent days my hair has been getting oily much quicker, and I don't know if it's age. I am also taking prenatal vitamins because I want to start parent planning in the future, so I don't know if it's that as well, or maybe it's the shampoo that I'm using. So I didn't opt for the hydrating formula, so I did get the Volumizing shampoo one, and then you got to pick a freebie. So I picked the hydrating conditioner so that I could try one of each from the line, but I could have actually gone with the Volumizing conditioner instead of the hydrating one. And then this is actually for thick and coarse hair, so I should have definitely gone with the other one. But conditioner just really goes on your ends and not so much on your roots, so I think I'll be fine. But this is the hair care bundle that I got, and I'm hoping that I will love the brand and it'll go great with my hair, and hopefully I can extend my hair washing time back to one day yes, one day no, or possibly even longer. Most of the heat that goes into my hair is through a blow dry, which is not often either. Most of the time I am home, so I just do like an air dry sort of situation, so my hair is healthy from that perspective. Still, apart from like coloring mask to tone my hair color whenever I do have highlights or whenever I do want to change the color a little bit, I would do that because I, as you can tell, don't really do highlights or keep up with my maintenance and my hair dye as often. So I'm very low maintenance whenever it comes to my hair, but I should definitely be better. So let me know your tips and tricks and what is that you do with your hair. So next, let's go into Sephora, and this I actually went into a store because one of the things that I've been wanting forever and a half is a perfume. This is the Tom Ford Bitter Peach. I got the travel size version. This is actually the exact same one that I kind of had my eyes on for a very long time, around November 1st I believe, because that is when the sale started for like the IV Rouge and for, you know, the 30% off all of the Sephora collection. So on that day I went into the app and I noticed that their 1 ounce fluid bottle was 50% off. So it used to be $250, but then they pushed it down to $125, and it was in stock for me to add it into my cart. And these savings at 50% was incredible, was even more than what I could have gotten at my 15% discount. But I was like, well, maybe I can stack discounts, or let me just look at it later today. I completely forgot, as you would have guessed. The next time that I went into the app, I think it was like 2 days later, it was like sold out. It was actually not even on the website anymore. So I was like, okay, what is going on? So I like tracked the availability for the next two sizes, which is this one and also the one that's like $405 or something like that, which is the biggest size that the perfume comes in. I tracked the location in store and I was okay, let me go, let me try my luck to see if I can find the 1 ounce there. For the longest time, I thought this was online only, and I'm gonna go ahead and open it because I'm gonna keep this. It was available at Dillard's. Like on my way to Sephora, I went into Dillard's and I seen it and I was like, wait, it's not exclusive. So I was able to get a little bit of savings, so not too bad. I went into the store and I saw that they had the 50% off sticker in the Tom Ford section. So I asked the lady and I said, hey, do you have this in the 1 ounce bottle, or you know, the smaller size? Because the one they had in display was the big size. She had this one and then she had 2 other boxes, and I thought it was a 1 ounce, but it was actually the bigger size. She's like, oh, this is a 1.7 fluid ounce bottle, and I was like, oh, you know, I knew that one was 400 bucks. I was like, no, I'll just do the travel size version. I kind of walked around the store and I looked for other items, and I was kind of thinking about it in my mind. I was like, maybe I can go check Macy's, and then I was trying to check online to see if maybe Nordstrom had priced it down, or even Tom Ford itself had priced it down, or why was Sephora pricing it at 50% off? So then I thought, well, whenever I was in Italy, they said that they haven't seen it in stock in some time and they think that they're going to be phasing out. So I was like, okay, maybe the $405 bottle will go 50% off in the future. I don't know when. I want to say this fragrance was released 4 years ago, so I'm not too into Tom Ford to know what their lifespan is for their fragrances, but if you are, let me know. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna get this one. This is the one that I wanted all along anyways, and hopefully whenever the other one does go on sale, if it ever does, I can snatch it then and I won't be thinking about it, because 50% off. Wow. This fragrance is a summery fragrance, and I like this container because you can take it out. This might be a custom fit to this particular bottle, as I would expect, but I'm actually gonna go bring some of my travel size perfumes to see if any of them fit in here, because I thought that I could use this whenever I do finish this, or I don't think they sell this in particular for me to, you know, refill, but it's kind of a neat thing if I do find another compatible travel size perfume that I can slip in here. And it was quite easy to remove. Now it does have a magnetic top and the colors are quite pretty too, so I'm not mad at the color story. Very nice. Went ahead and brought 3 that I think would be compatible with this one, and let's see if I can use it. Obviously the height is a little bit concerning, but the vial itself seems to be a little bit compatible. It might be a little bit thicker, so like this is too big. Maybe I can take this off. Can I take this off? Yep. This one's too tall. Let's see, this one is definitely too tall. I do have one that I think might work almost, but not quite. This is the YSL Mon Paris, just in case you were wondering if any of yours might be compatible. It is 0.34 fluid ounces. Yeah, so pretty cool. I got this fragrance as a sample and I fell in love with it. It does have peach as the main note. On me, once you spray it, you can definitely smell the peach, but it kind of warms up to my particular chemistry quite nicely, and I know that can be a hit or miss with a lot of people because we all have different, you know, body chemistry, but it's quite lovely on me. And whenever I smell like the actual bottles that are out in display, like none of them smell like they would be good. Not like spray and smell, but just like smell the bottle itself. And even this one, because after I purchased this one, I went over to Dillard's to see if they had the 1 ounce, and I was smelling the bottle while the lady came to help me, and it doesn't smell like something I would buy, but on, I do know that I like this fragrance, so it's not bad that I'm doing it in the travel size. And then with this little presentation, I can stick it in my bag and not be afraid of, you know, spilling or breaking like any of these other glass ones, because most travel size perfumes are in a glass little container. But that's the first item that I got, and I'm very excited because, you know, it's been a long time coming. The next item that I got was the Makeup Forever liner set, and this is eyeliners and lip liners. So 3 lip liners, 2 liners, eyeliners that is. And this one was actually out of stock online, and it was one of the things that I really wanted alongside this. So that's kind of what prompted me to go in store more than, you know, just checking out whatever was in my carts. So here is the white, and this is a good size, so not too bad. And then here is the black. So the white is just called All Around Whites. The black is called Whatever Black. And then it has number 600 Anywhere Caffeine, and it has 606 Wherever Walnuts, as well as 608 Limitless Brown. And all of these come in like a little plastic kind of thingy that you do have to rip. Sometimes I just like to have a liner and then put like a gloss over top, and that is my lip combo. So I can stick this in my purse to reapply. And then I kind of feel like if I'm intimidated by the Limitless Brown, which is the darkest lip liner shade that's on there, I can actually use this as a dark brown waterline sort of liner. Limitless Brown, Anywhere Caffeine, Wherever Walnuts, All Around Whites, and Wherever Black, I believe that's the name of it. So very pretty color scheme. Just so you know, this is, have I sharpened this? I don't think I've ever sharpened this. So this is a full size of the Anywhere Caffeine, and then this is the small size. So a full size Makeup Forever, and then the one that came in the set. So it's about half, or actually a little bit more than half. Yeah. So not a bad deal. I brought 3 colors that I think are the most close to any of these color range. So the first one is MAC Whirl, and let me see. Ooh, this is like a dupe. If you already have MAC Whirl, then if you already have Whirled by MAC, I said it backwards, then Wherever Walnut is very similar to it, like almost spot on. And then I also have Super Size Me by Charlotte Tilbury. Let me see. Nope, that is more of a pink. And then I have Love Trap, and this one might be, ooh, this one also looks like Wherever Walnut. This is, I'm just gonna put a C. So my chicken scratch, I put an M for MAC, and then I put a C for Charlotte Tilbury, but these are the 2 closest to the Wherever Walnut by Makeup Forever. So this is Charlotte Tilbury Love Trap and Whirl by MAC, just in case you might already have any of these. I do really like the Limitless Brown. I hope that I can use it as a lip liner, because I feel like there's some colors that are a little bit too deep where I need to have a lot of confidence to be able to wear them. And it looks like it's one, but if it doesn't work as a lip liner, which I can always do like light color in the center to make it a little bit more wearable. But yeah, if I can't really work with it, I would definitely use it as an eyeliner, which I'm pretty sure it's close to the same formula and safe for your eyes as well. Proceed at your own risk. And then I got one more item. This is the last item, and that's actually going to prompt me to show you my collection. And this is the new palette by Huda Beauty. This is the Icy Nude palette. This one, I'm kind of debating on keeping it or returning it, because first of all, I've purchased a lot of eyeshadow palettes this year, and I don't have this exact configuration already, but I probably have some version of it within the palettes that I already have. And I swatched them in store, like the sample palettes and the glittery shades that I really love from Huda Beauty. They are so chunky. They literally like start crumbling as you swatch them. And obviously glitters, I prefer to put them on with my finger instead of using like a makeup brush. I already know that it is going to like have a lot of flaking, so I'm kind of like concerned about that. This palette has a good variety of the matte shades. Like literally it has all the perfect matte colors that you would ever need. This one right here is not exactly a white, but it's very close to one that I feel like would be great to pop any kind of glitter or accentuate any other color that you would like to use. But this has a beautiful color story that I'm kind of like, okay, I already have it. Do I keep it? I mean, it was only 15% off. I do know that she's gonna have a sale, I think like around the 17th of November or something like that. And I'm thinking maybe I could see what she has on sale then, or wait until like Black Friday or Christmas to see if there's any deals on this particular palette more than the 15% off that I already did get. So yeah, I'm kind of like in the fence about this eyeshadow palette. If you got it, let me know. I basically got it because it was the last palette that they had for this particular version. They did have the grungy, I'm forgetting the exact name of it, but like the grungy one, which has a beautiful color story. Same, they had one more of that one in stock. So I was like, okay, let me get this palette at least at my 15% off discount, and then I can debate on whether I want it or not and return it if I decide to not keep it. palette. There is where I'm at with that one, but that is gonna prompt me to show you my eyeshadow collection because I inside know that I do have a variety of eyeshadow palettes that I can use instead. So let's get started with my eyeshadow collection. So I'm gonna go with my warm palettes first, and then we'll go over to the controversial ones on whether or not I should keep my new cool one or not. The first warm palette that I have within my collection, it is the Jaclyn Hill palette. This was the collab that she had with Morphe, and this was the collab number 1, and it's the one that doesn't have any mirror at the top. I still have the little plastic, and this is a beautiful color story, and I did really use this top row in particular and some shades at the bottom, mostly like these icy sort of shimmer shades. It is a very nice color story that I actually don't really reach for too much anymore. Not that I don't like the colors or the palette itself. The actual formula is really good, but because I keep it at the bottom of my little container here, and then I never really reach for it. And my next warm palette would be the Too Faced Salted Caramel palette. And this is a small little travel size one. This one, to be honest, I do not really reach for it, but it is a beautiful color story. I'm actually wearing this one like towards like the inner lid right there, but I don't really reach for this palette because I'm too scared of the color story. Like I can do maybe these 3, and then I have used this pink. Probably the pink is the one that I've used the most out of all the colors in this little palette. Very nice for November and for fall time, and I like how it's compact. Now this palette, I did get it for Christmas some years back, so it might be near its expiration time, and quite honestly that might be the story for most of these. The next warm palette that I have is by Tilbury. This is the luxury palette of Pops Celestial Eyes, and this one actually came broken whenever I got it, so I haven't really been using it since. I do use this top shade right here. It is like a pink that has like a duochrome to it. That's like my favorite shade, but I don't really reach for this palette at all. The next warm palette that I have ironically looks very similar to my Too Faced Salted Caramel. This is the Mini Bronze palette by Natasha Denona. Just so that you can see, I'm actually wearing the rest of the colors in my eyeshadow today from this Mini Bronze palette. So sort of similar, but not too much. Like all of these colors together could be a beautiful palette on its own, and it wouldn't be repeating anything. Like not even this shade right here that looks very similar to this middle one. There are 2 different shades, so I don't feel guilty that I have this one. And the only one that does kind of look like it would be clashing is this second top one, the burnt orange, with the very last one on here. But even then, very pretty, and I actually do use this one more than my salted caramel, and I am not intimidated by it. It's very wearable, and I love the way her eyeshadows blend. The next warm palette that I have, and I say this because I'm finding something else, but I'll let you know. This is the Natasha Denona Golden palette, and this is a new palette for me for this year. A beautiful color story. Has a lot of more honey, I was gonna say yellow, but not so much yellow whenever I look at this particular palette. She did come out with the I Need a Warm palette that's a little bit more peachy tone. So if you're looking at this one and that one side by side, this is more yellow tone, but beautiful color story, and I really do like most of these shades. So I do want the I Need a Warm, but same story with the Icy Nude is I have eyeshadow palettes, so I need to think about it. The next eyeshadow palette that is warm, I think it is the Mini Star palette by Natasha Denona. Such a beautiful color story, and I like every single shade in here. The next warm that I have is the Mini Retro palette. This one, oh my gosh, one of my favorite palettes. I can wear this every single day. The Sunrise palette by Natasha Denona. This is my next warm palette. Very beautiful color story. This is semi-warm out of the rest of the palettes that I have. This is the Huda Beauty Retrograde palette, and this one I actually talked about whenever I did talk about my Sephora VIB sale sort of wants, which was a lot of items that I ended up narrowing it down to just these 3. This is a beautiful palette that I would think would be like my next warm palette within my collection. This was a limited edition by ColourPop. This is the Hocus Pocus collab, and it has a beautiful color story, and I actually bring this out during the fall time conveniently, especially in Halloween. This one was a collab last year or the year before, but very beautiful. The next eyeshadow palette is my Too Faced Pretty Rich palette. This was a palette that I got this year. I think I got this year. But anyways, this has a beautiful color story. It's not necessarily cool or warm. Actually, it does have a lot of warm in here. This casing actually also reminds me of the Juicy Couture jewelry boxes, if you ever had anything from them before. Let me talk about this one. So this is a retro palette by Natasha Denona, and this one is more of a purple color story, but it does have some warms in this outer side right there. So very beautiful color story. One of my favorites from Natasha Denona that I own. And then let me get into my oldest palettes, I think, from everything that I'm going to show you. This is the Urban Decay Vice palettes from, I don't know, like 45 years ago. This has a lot of cool or neutral leaning shades in there. I hope you're able to see the colors just fine and it's not washing it out, although I think it is. And this is one of my rescued palettes. I want to say it was this one that whenever I did my makeup decluttering video like maybe 2 years ago, I actually got rid of one of these palettes and I couldn't bring myself to get rid of this one because it's such a nice color story, and ever since then I do reach for some shades in here, so good thing I didn't let it go, even though I really should. So this is the Vice Limited by Urban Decay as well. This has sort of a cool color story, so I do really like that palette. My least used palette is actually this quad that I custom made from MAC, and I actually couldn't even tell you what these shades are, and it's really washing out the colors. Okay, there you can see it a little bit more. Anyways, it's like a coral, and then like a muted coral, then a shimmer and another gray shimmer. I was not good at making this palette. If I ever had to do a collaboration with a brand, which never in a million years would that be an opportunity for me, I would not know what color story to combine. So this one, least use, wasted my money on that. And actually the actual formulation of the MAC shadows in that particular quad do not compare with any of the other eyeshadow brands that I have here with me. I mean, the Too Faced is actually not too good of an eyeshadow brand, I feel, compared to Natasha Denona. She knows what she's doing. She knocks it out of the ballpark. Also, Urban Decay knows what they're doing. They are amazing. And actually Huda Beauty's glitters, amazing. And the rest of the palettes, you're gonna notice that I have particular brands in my collection the most. And now these are all of my heavily cool palettes that may be competing with the Icy Nude. And the first up is My Mini Dream palette by Natasha Denona. She does have a full-size palette with this My Dream palette, and I saw it in store whenever I went the other day, and I like the color story. So I don't know, maybe in the future, I don't know. I need to finish at least one eyeshadow in any of these palettes. I've hit pan on a few, but I think I need to finish an actual eyeshadow like all the way before I buy another eyeshadow palette, unless it's like heavily discounted or like an amazing deal for Black Friday, which I got most of my Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes on a good deal for like Memorial Day. So yeah, one of my favorites. The next one is the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette. This palette is so beautiful in a color story that I don't really have. It's a little bit more of a muted, romantic, like taupey frosted pinks sort of color story. Very beautiful. I do really like this palette a lot. And the next palette by Urban Decay is my Naked 3. This palette was a favorite of mine for so many years, and I actually had to put it away because I thought that I was going to go through the palettes and not be able to repurchase it. So yeah, I need to bring that one out again. And the next one is by Lorac. This is the Lorac 2, I think it is. It is the one in the gray packaging. This was their cool tone palette. I did have the black one, which was their more warm compared to this one, and I actually gave that one away. So this is the color story that I have. And same, this was a beautiful favorite everyday palettes, just like my Naked 2 palettes. I feel like on me, whenever I do use my makeup, I tend to go towards Kohl palettes, which is why I went for the Icy Nude. However, I do like the warms, so I don't know if it's younger me that likes the cooler tones or if it's just that I am finding my way into warm tones now. I don't know. I probably just like makeup. The next palette that I have is the I Need a Nude by Natasha, and this one is actually a lot of people's favorites, and it's actually not my favorite, but I really do like this Maya color and also Delilah and Sheen. Beautiful color story here as well. The Icy Nude was heavily compared to this one, but actually I don't see a resemblance, especially after you swatch the shadows, which I'm gonna put that one aside. The next one is the Glam palette by Natasha, Denona, that squeaks. And this palette, it might not look it, but I use this palette a ton. And it is one of my favorites that I actually had to put away as well. And then the last eyeshadow palette is my more cool tone variety out of all of them that I have. This is the Lorac Pro Mega. This is the color story right here. So I got this palette because I thought that I could use like all of this section right here, like literally 4 by 4, like 16 shades right there. But a lot of these either don't translate very well on my skin tone or kind of fade. You don't really see that I have shadow there. So I don't really use this palette at all. This is next to the MAC little quad that I made. It is my least used palette. And then the other shadow that I got is not an eyeshadow per se, but it is an eyeshadow or a powder color that you can use as an eyeshadow. It is my Color Wow in the shade medium brown, and this is honestly to cover gray hairs in your hair. This is great as well. I've been getting a lot of those lately and it helps quite nicely. So let me get this palette out once more and kind of have it side by side with the I Need a Nude palettes. These look like two different eyeshadow palettes, literally. Like the only shade that might look similar, like just by looking at it like this, is Fair and Muse. So these two, and this one and this one. I don't really want to touch this palette because I think I'm really going to send it back, but let me know what it is that you think. I mean, I do already have it, so I can just literally keep it and use it, and just, I mean, it has a lot of nice mattes that I don't already have in my collection, maybe within this palette, but or actually maybe this palette might be a little bit similar to those mattes. But yeah, that is my entire eyeshadow collection, most of these being new. And if I had to just pick a few eyeshadow palettes, I would pick, I think if I had to restart my eyeshadow collection, I would do the Naked 2, the My Mini Dream palette, and the Mini Retro by Natasha Denona. Again, only if I had to, because I obviously already have these. And those are cool toned. So, oh, actually this one's a little bit in the warm side. I actually don't even know if I can use my discount because the sale is actually still going on for a few more days. I think I'm kind of content with what I have. Again, I don't really need anything at Sephora. So I think maybe if there's good deals for Black Friday or maybe like Christmas holiday, I might think about it. But honestly, I should be content with my makeup collection. And let me know what I should do on the palettes. Even though I'm kind of more on the return it, let someone else who's really going to use it and love it enjoy it. So yeah, that's kind of where I stand. Not that I wouldn't use it, because I'm pretty sure I would use all those glitters as a one sort of shade and done situation. But yeah, I want to thank you so very much for spending a little bit of your day with me, and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye.